Hey, this is Joanna, and in this video I'm going to talk about what the experience of depth journaling was actually like for me kind of before I started the process and as I went through it and where I am right now with it. And so before I started doing this depth journaling work, I was kind of afraid of it, honestly. I was afraid of what might come out and what might come up. I knew I had repressed emotions and feelings and things that had not been dealt with and that I had kind of packed away inside of me, compressed them down so they would fit and stuck them in all the different places within me, and that my body was holding on to them essentially and it was making me ill. And so I knew that there was a lot in there, and I was a bit afraid to find out what that might be and how that might affect my life, because I didn't know. I thought maybe it could possibly blow up my entire life and change everything. And so I had to take a deep breath and begin. It turned out that my first depth journaling session was writing about the fears I had about depth journaling. So that was that was kind of funny when I realized that that was happening. And so I just kept doing it and kept digging into all these different areas of my life, of my past, my present circumstances, my personality, in which I had repressed and buried anger, fear, guilt, shame, anxiety, those kinds of fun feelings. And the experience of it was very interesting for me and continues to be very interesting in that I quickly found that I had a whole lot of rage. Rage and fury, really not very far beneath the surface, that was just so ready to come out. So well, just it wanted to be heard, and it just poured out onto the page, pages and pages of journal pages that I wrote. I went through, these are just a few of the pens that I have been through in the last few months. I threw out all the inside bits, and I got this journal called, said, "We can do it," because I needed this. And I filled this entire thing up with all of my inner feelings in just like a month. I think in about a month I filled that journal up, working on it pretty much every day. And I was surprised at the amount, the intensity, the depth of the emotion that was coming up and out of me through my hand onto the page, that it was on many days it was so easy just to write and write and write. I would fill up, 5, 6 pages in one sitting. My hand would cramp, I would run out of ink in my pen, and but it was good. If I found that without even, sometimes I would get very good insights, very deep insights into myself, and I go, oh, of course I have this fear of rejection. Well, this makes sense. Of course, this is why I feel this way about myself, or I have these, limiting beliefs about myself. And but sometimes, I wouldn't necessarily have any grand enlightenment occur, and yet I felt space opening up inside of me, and my relationship shifting, and the way I feel about certain very difficult relationships that I have still shifting and easing, and there being more of a authentic heart connection with that person or with those people. And so the idea of depth journaling is that it brings these repressed emotions that our subconscious has kind of stuck within our bodies to protect ourselves, really. It brings those up to the surface and through, into the conscious mind, where they can be processed, where they can be let go and released, so that you don't have them stuck inside you anymore, making you sick. And the journaling does that, digging deep, digging into, like, well, what's going on in the situation? What's really beneath these feelings? Is there something deeper here? You may find for you that you get a bit of irritation or annoyance. I apparently went straight to fury and rage, even beyond just some anger, because that's what needed to come out for me. That's what was there. And so I found this experience really interesting. It's been really interesting spending this amount of time with myself, getting to know what's really going on with me and working with some of it. I started at the end of March, I believe. Currently it's the end of May. so it's 2 months, doing math quickly. And I feel like I still have more to go. I still have more I want to journal about and write about and access and look at. It doesn't feel at all navel-gazing-y to me, or indulgent, or pitying, or anything like that. I think if you can do it with a whole lot of compassion towards yourself and maybe a little bit of distance. In some ways, I'm writing about these very, very deep personal emotions and situations, and yet feel almost a little removed from it in that stream of consciousness flow where it just comes out. And that actually feels really good, to release all of this stuff in a way that is good and healthy and safe. So I will leave that with you in this video. I do plan to put together a very short kind of mini guide about how you can do depth journaling yourself if you fancy. So please do subscribe to my channel so that you can get that video or that, that information when it's ready. And I will see you later. Thanks for watching.